Okay, this is my patented turkey brine. Turkey brine. It's not mine. I got the recipe from somebody else. I'm not even sure who. So I've got 2 gallons right here of cold water. I'm gonna put about that much, about a half of that, of apple juice. Then I'm gonna put about that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that much oranges in there. And then I'm gonna put about half that much garlic in there, because I put a little too much garlic in that bowl. But I'm gonna put all of that brown sugar in there. And then about that much salt, and maybe about that much more salt. And then about 5 or so of these bay leaves right here, and a fistful of this peppercorn medley. Okay, just kind of let those all sit there on the top. Then I'm gonna heat it up here till it comes to a nice, just barely rolling boil. Turn it down, set it low, let it all simmer. And that is going to then be my brine for me to just submerge those turkey breasts in there. Leave them overnight, take them out in the morning, put them on my kettle, smoke them for about 4 hours. And I've done this before and it always comes out great. This is just another portion of my contribution to Christmas dinner, Christmas lunch, Christmas brunch, Christmas Day festivities. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, let's get it cooking. So I had to move from my outside perch over there where I was gonna get all this brine ready. Technical difficulties, whatever. So I just wanted to show you what it looked like as I was getting ready for it to heat up and just as it's going into a simmer, and I really wish this was smell-o-vision. So 2 things that I forgot to mention that I put in there, that I put in after I brought it in here, was sage. You can see that up on the top. Might have got a little heavy with that. I'm not gonna say I didn't, but I'm not gonna say I did either. And also chicken broth. But we're gonna leave it here. We're gonna let it heat up. Get it to where it's just almost a rolling boil. Then we're gonna let it simmer. Then we're gonna cool it down. Then we're gonna pour it in a bag. Then we're gonna put some ice. Make sure it is not warm at all. I'll tell you more about that in a second. And then we're gonna put those turkey breasts in there, tie it up, put it in a cooler, put some ice over the top of all that, and let it sit overnight. In order for all the spices, the citrus from the orange, the brown sugar, the sweetness off of that, the peppercorns, the sage, all of that, for it all to come together the way that you want it to, you gotta heat it up. So now you've got this brine. It's hot, obviously, and you've got to cool it down before you put your turkey in the brine. I've got to make sure that there is no way that this brine can begin to cook the turkey, and it can if it's too warm. You can put your turkey in the brine, tie it up, put it in a cooler, and if it's not cooled down enough, it will literally begin to cook your turkey, and then it'll stop. Then you'll get up, you'll put it on your cooker, your deep fryer, your oilless fryer, smoker, whatever, however it is that you're gonna cook it. And then it'll start after having started and stopped and then start again. And now you've got just a horrendously tough turkey that's dried out and is of no use to anybody. And no, horrendously. That'll be our word of the day. We haven't done a word of the day for a minute. So horrendously bad turkey. You might want to look that one up. I'm not even sure that's really a word. So you'll have a bad turkey and it'll be tough, and nobody wants that on any day of the year. But you certainly don't want that when you got friends or family coming over for a holiday meal, right? So just don't do it. It is 6:42. I want to put these on the smoker at 8 a.m. I want to give myself plenty of time to have everything on the table by 1 o'clock. That's my goal. I have to do the backwards math on that to get there. Maybe we should talk about backwards math sometimes. But for right now, I've got just over an hour before I want to put the turkeys in the brine, because I want them to brine for at least 12 hours. Let me show you what we're working with here. I got 2 of these honeysuckle white turkey breasts. I went in and I made sure that I got them both really, really close to the same size so that they'll cook at the same pace. That's critical. If you're doing more than one, don't get an 8-pound and a 6-pound. Actually, in the stock pot itself, I'll throw about a half a bag of ice in there. And then by 8 o'clock, which is, like I said, a little over an hour away, I'll introduce those turkeys into it, tie it all off, put it in a cooler, pour ice all over the bag, and let it sit in the garage overnight. Tomorrow morning, get out, start the process of smoking them. It's gonna be great. All right, well, we got our turkeys all done. They're sitting in the brine, they're sitting in the cooler, they're sitting in the garage. So tomorrow we start the second half of this project. I'll let y'all follow along then. Until then, Merry Christmas to you. God bless. We'll see you in a minute. Hey, good morning. It's Christmas morning, so Merry Christmas to you. I'm about to go get those turkeys out of the cooler. I'm gonna build my fire over here. Okay, so now that we got our fire going, we need to go get those turkeys out of the bags. Remember, they've been sitting in there overnight, sitting in bags in a cooler. Now, I'm gonna go get them. I'm gonna take them out of the bags. I'm gonna rinse them off. I'm gonna pat them dry. I'm gonna inject them. Then I'm gonna put a dry rub on the outside of them. Something you can't do if you are doing a deep fry cook, you know, it just all wash away. Then by the time we finish up with all that, this fire should be right where we want it. And we can go ahead and get started with the smoking process. Okay, so now that we got them out, we got them rinsed off, I'm gonna pat them dry. And then I'll show y'all the rubs that we're gonna actually use on them. I'm using 2 combinations, or I guess I should say I'm using a combination of 2 rubs. This is where the fast forward starts and the music kicks in. I got 2 different rubs that we're going to work with today. I used this one on the Thanksgiving turkeys, B&B chicken scratch. Let me tell you what's in it. Salt, spices, sugar, smoke flavor, and garlic. It doesn't have a bunch of kick to it, so I got a fix for that. I just realized that I skipped over the injection part. Just any injector you want to use. If you want to go to Academy and get the stainless steel syringe, use what I use that has the hose that goes in and you can just keep injecting. For something this small, I just used 1 small plastic syringe that's disposable and I throw it away. As far as turkey goes, I never reuse a needle that goes in with any kind of poultry. I don't wash them, I don't reuse them in any way. I always use a disposable one and just chunk it away. That's just me, you do you. But all I did was just inject 1 right here, 1 right here, same thing, same thing, same thing, with chicken broth. That's it. Once you get the rub on as thick as you want it, pat it in. Not sure why they call it rub. If it would have been up to me, I'd have called it dry pat. But then probably all of the pats would be demonstrating, saying, why you calling this dry? Ain't nobody named Rub, so nobody's irritated. Then over the top of that, I use some McCormick Grill Mates Chipotle roasted garlic. Got a little bit of a kick to it with the Chipotle. It's not spicy. It's not gonna be too much fire for anybody that I'm cooking for today, which the folks that I cook for today, they're not looking for spicy. They're looking for savory with a little bit of sweet. That's where the apple juice comes in. That's where the oranges come in. So now that I've got those all set up with the rub, the injection, the overnight brine, everything I've done is to make this cook shorter than it would be if you just threw a turkey on there. This is that hinged door I was talking about. So I can just open that up and I can put more charcoal in there anytime I want. Make sure that's over the top of my tray. Boom, done. So I'm gonna put these on the opposite end of the kettle from the fire. I'm putting them breast side down. I have two vents on here. I have a vent on the bottom. I have a vent on the top. Right now, both of them wide open. Opening it up like that gave it a bunch of oxygen, but I don't want to choke it all the way down right here at the beginning.
What you looking for?
Pecan chunks. Here they are. So I added 3 chunks of pecan on top of that bed of coals. I've got my bottom vent wide open. I've got my top vent wide open. Gonna leave it that way for about 20 or 30 minutes. Come back out, check it. I will put a probe in there here in a few minutes just so I can keep track of the temperature. Don't want it wildly fluctuating up and down. Now we just wait. Smoke's coming. Smoked queso on the offset. Let's take a look at it. I've got Velveta. I've got smoked Gouda. I've got smoked cheddar. I got 2 or 3 different kinds of Rotel. And I've got sausage. Here's my smoked drumsticks. All I need now is just more time. Just more time. The turkey breasts have been on this smoker now for 3 hours. They've been ranging between about 220 and 245. Right now they're about 255. I just put a new chunk of pecan in that basket. I'm gonna open this up, flip them over. I'm gonna go ahead and put my temperature probe in there now so that I can keep track of that internal temperature. 165 is what we're looking for on that. The internal temperature of those turkey breasts right now is 156. Remember, what we're looking for is 162 on the internal temperatures. This type of queso, it's turning into an ooey, gooey, beautiful, gorgeous queso. Well, just a couple more minutes, let it get completely set up, and then I'm taking it inside. So I just checked the temperature of the turkey legs right in here. I got them smoking over here, and they're sitting at about 145, from 140 to 145 front to back. Oddly enough, the ones up front are the ones that are getting done just a little bit faster, but they're all coming along the same time. Now, these turkey legs were pre-smoked. For some reason, my local meat market, they said they hadn't been able to get just regular turkey legs for months. I don't know if y'all are finding that problem. I don't know if you even looked for them or not, but that's what I ran into on this. But they do have, they're already smoked, then they're packaged, then they're refrigerated and sent out. And I got those. So really all I'm doing is I'm just putting them on the smoker and getting them up to 165 degrees. It's 12:15. I told everybody I would have the food on the table at 1 o'clock. My turkey breasts, right on track. My drumsticks, right on track. I wish I would have got my queso started a little sooner because they could have been eating off of that, but I got 15 more minutes before I want to take it off and it'll be completely where I want it to be, and then they can snack on that for a minute. Here's a tip for you. If you want people to enjoy your food more, make sure they're really hungry when you take it to them. For some reason, they seem to enjoy everything just that much more. Pro tip. We are really, really close to being on target for this turkey. Set it right there. Let's give it about 10 more minutes and they will be ready to come off the smoker, go on the cutting board, and go on the plate. Got the turkeys off, got them inside, they're resting, about to get ready to hit the cutting board. Got the drumsticks. They are ready to come off. There's probably a better way to do it, but I'm just gonna put them in this bowl and I'm gonna take them inside in it. Surely there's a better presentation idea than throwing drumsticks in a bowl, but I didn't think that far ahead. All right. Christmas drumsticks for the kids. Well, that's Christmas, y'all. At least the cooking part of it. I hope that you all had a good Christmas. I hope that you were able to spend time with family. I know a lot of us weren't able to. We're blessed that we were. We're thinking about those of you that weren't. And we're saying a prayer for all of you. And we're hoping for a better 2021. Until then, y'all be good to each other and keep on smoking.
And Theo, I liked your queso, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I rated a 10. Jack, what about you?
I liked his queso. I get it as a 1 to 10. I get it as a million.
I would rate Theo's queso
A 9.8.
because sometimes it's like a little too spicy for me.